Oh, lovely stuff. Alright guys, thanks for joining me again. You're back with OHMonster, and today, got rid of the zebra. Alright, so in the last video I asked you guys what you'd like to see more of, what you'd like to see less of, all the rest of those bits and pieces, and the predominant one that came out was get rid of the fucking zebra. So it's gone. Alright, all that I had lying around to replace it was this anime poster, so you're just going to have to deal with that for now. I have ordered some vapor related stuff that will fill this space here and make the back of me a little bit more interesting, but hey, it's gone. So, anyway, today what I've got for you is an RDA. It's a Magnet 1.5 by Shado Vapor. Now this was sent on to me for the purpose of this review by vaporize.co.nz. So, let's take a look at it, shall we? Alright guys, so here we are up close with the Magnet 1.5 by Shado Vapor. As you can see, it just comes in this tin that you'd normally only get clones in these days, but here, a packet's a packet. As you can see, Magnet's not spelt as a normal magnet, it's just MGNT V1.5, their website and their Instagram down here. Alright, so we'll pop this out. We'll put the RDA aside for now. Pull these foam bits out, and there you go. You've got your parts kit, and you've got a white Delrin chuff cap. In your parts kit, you get your Allen key, your replacement O-rings, and your grub screws. Now here's the RDA itself. Nice small little jobby, nice and low profile, quite compact. On the bottom, you've got your Magnet V1.5, your Shado Vapor, nice little colour laser engraved USA flag there, the Magnet logo. Gold plated brass 510 pin, and your peak insulator through there. It does protrude, so it's fine on hybrids. I've been using this in a hybrid myself, so no problem there. So, pulling this apart bit by bit, you've got your chuff cap, which unscrews. So you can replace it with the white Delrin one if you wanted to. Now the main sort of selling point for this one, and its point of difference really, is its top cap. It's magnetized, so that's where the name comes from. So as you can see, we've got a magnet here and here, and a magnet here and here, which just allows it to crack back into place perfectly in line with the airflow holes. Now as you can see, this is a top airflow. Alright, so, and this is adjustable. So this little thing here, this spins. So let's see if I can get it to, because it is a bit tight. I think I'll be able to get this. No. Alright, so every now and again this does seize up on me for some reason. And when I first got it, it was practically impossible to twist by hand. So I just got my pliers, put them either side, and just twist from the outside. As you can see, that has shortened the groove available for your airflow, which you'll probably be able to see better if I pop this back on. So now that's half open. Alright, now I haven't found any need to have it anything other than fully open. But if you like a restricted airflow, then obviously that's going to be the best way to go about it. Alright, put that aside for now. So, as you can see, you can just drop straight down into this. You don't need to bother taking the top cap fully off. So, there's a couple of ways you can play around with this. You can either just pop it straight off and drip down here, or you can just swing it off to the side, drip down, swing it back in. Pretty nifty, a nice idea. I like it. Just be careful with this, because if you're too vicious with it and spinning it, it'll do that. It'll fly off, it'll go under the couch, go under the car. But yeah, if you're careful with it, you're all good. Now that brings us to the deck section of this RDA. Now as you can see, it's a nice 2-post RDA, gold positive, which is peak sealed to the deck, and your negative, which is milled into the deck. Now these are nice and wide apart, so you can fit some nice chunky builds in here. As you can see, the juice well isn't all that deep, but they're just trying to keep this nice and compact. So this is very, very much like the Phenol. So if I show you that, here's a Phenol Type L by Anarchist, and this is your magnet. Now, as you can see, the build deck on the magnet is a little bit bigger, and the post holes are further apart. Now the posts are further apart. The post holes on the Type L are bigger, but these are still big enough to fit alien wiring and fuse claptons in and such, so it's not too much of a big deal. But as you can see, they're very similar build decks where you've got a smaller juice well and a more low profile deck on the magnet. Now, there's two ways you can coil this up, and I'll show you both of them right now. Alright, so the first way is obviously just your traditional way, which is just your dual coils in here. So, but what you do want to do is be building these quite high. Now don't build them too low to the deck, because how the airflow works is it comes in through the side of the coil down and it wants to flow under and up. So I'll put the top cap on and I'll show you what I mean by that. Right, so I think you're just about seeing there. So I've built those quite high and quite close to the deck. Now with the airflow going down, it'll go down outside the coil, and as you're obviously inhaling, it'll come up through the middle. So the air actually wraps around the coil to keep it cool. So that's going to be your best bet for your dual coil option. Now you do have a way of building single coils in here, and I'll show you how to do that now. Okay, so when building a single coil in this is how you want to be setting up your leads. So you want to have one that's short and one that's about twice as long. Now the reason for this is when you're installing it into your RDA, you can turn it on its side, pop it through the positive or the negative first, push it right in, and then that leaves you enough room then to then pop it through the next post. And there you go. A lot easier if you do grab your screwdriver, pop that through. You can sit it on the deck if you want to have it perfectly straight. Then tighten those grub screws in and lift. And I'll show you how to do that right now. Alright, so I started this off camera because it's a bit fiddly, but you start off with the shoulder post. So you literally just press up against the coil so it's held in. Hold your finger there and tighten, just enough so it grips it. Right, and then you pop your screwdriver back in, center it to where you want it. As I do, I'll just lay it on the deck to keep it nice and straight. Make sure the lead is right into the positive post and just tighten her up. Alright, there we go. Now, all you need to do now is just get a nice bit of leverage on both and just pull her up. That'll tighten your coil and it'll lift it off the deck to make sure you've got a nice bit of airflow running underneath. Alright, so when it comes to wicking your single coil option, you literally just want to be putting it through as you would a normal dual coil or your normal standard, but you want to be making sure that it just runs nice and flat into the side of the deck. So you literally just want it fluffy enough, so you just have to press down and it literally just fits in there nicely. So you cut it just about the same distance away from the deck as the build is to the edge of the deck, and just tuck it in. Done. You don't want to be folding it under the coil like you do with the standard sort of single coil or dual coil, because you want that gap under there so the air can come from the post hole underneath and up, like so. So as you can see, the air will go down through here and it'll come up through here. So that's pretty much all I've got for you for this one, guys. So we'll go back out, we'll have a talk about it. Lovely stuff. Alright guys, so we've just been up close with the Magnet 1.5 by Shado Vapor. Now this has to be probably one of my new favourite RDAs. I love it. I love it. I love this magnet top cap. The fact that I can just swivel it over to a side, trip through there, swing it back round, or just take it off, drip in there, throw it back on. Brilliant. The low profileness of it, I love it. Like as you see, I've got it on the simple mod, the hybrid mod, and it just looks like one complete tube. You know, I love it. The airflow on it's brilliant. Like I said in the up close, I haven't had to adjust that to a smaller airflow. I think it's just about enough. If you do restrict it too much, you do end up not getting enough air to that coil, and you can risk dry hits on that one. But all in all, it's been built very well. other than, well, we'll go into pros and cons, right? Okay, so pros for this, the magnetic top cap, that's fantastic. I love that concept. The only downside, the only con to that one, I would say, is they could have, if they wanted to, leave that as like a pivot point. All right, so it just literally did as the TFV4 does and just swivels backwards and forwards and come up with some different way on to adjust the airflow. And that would have been quite nice because that would avoid it slipping off and other bits and pieces. But you can play around with this as much as you like. You sit it on the side of the RDA while you're dripping if you want. It's a whole heap of fun. The build deck on this one been nice and wide, and those post holes been nice and far apart. You can build some pretty beefy coils in here, but you can also build your normal smaller ones in here. And I like the fact that it's got enough room for you to comfortably build a single coil through the center. Now with the Phenotype L, you had very little room to build straight through the middle. You could pull it off, but it was quite tight. But where this, you've still got plenty of room to play with either side once you've installed that single coil in here. Now, I like the fact that it comes with a Delrin Drip Tip. I haven't put it on here, surprisingly, as you all know, I love my Delrin. But it's comfortable enough. The airflow is enough for this not to heat up too dramatically. All right, so that top airflow just cools the whole RDA down instead of just the coils. So they've done a very good job on that one. Very good job. So if we go into the cons, a con for me would be, with it being so low profile and so small, they could have done with putting a spit back guard in here. If you do slightly over drip, your first 2 or 3 draws of this, you're getting a mouthful of juice. There's no way around it. But all they could have done is just put a nice spit back guard in there. It wouldn't have had to be too much, but they haven't. So you do get a mouthful of juice if you do over drip. So just watch that with this. Another con is just the milling of the post holes is pretty rough. Pretty rough. And for the price point of this thing, you'd expect that to be smooth as butter. I mean, you look at, again, we go back to the funnel. The post holes through here are buttery smooth through here. There's nothing that's going to catch your finger on there, but there is with this one. I don't know if it's just the odd one, but it happens. It's happened with this one, so I'll have to mention it. One other thing is, when between these two, once you've been vaping on it for a bit, this does get quite coated in juice, and so does this. Makes it quite slippery, makes it a bit sort of leaky around the edges. But there is a quick fix for that. Just literally lay a paper towel over the top of it, chuck the magnet top cap on. Job's a good one. It's clean. All right, so it's not a major one. That's not a big issue. The flavour I'm getting off of this is brilliant. I'm mixing up pros and cons here, but you kind of get what's a pro and what's a con. The flavour I've got from this is fantastic. Now, no matter what build I've put in it, really, the airflow just seems to not reduce any of that flavour that you're getting through. Nice wide bore drip tip for the size of the RDA itself. It's a fantastic little piece of kit. They've got it all kinds of right with this. I like it a lot. Would I recommend you buy one? Yes, I would. If you're a builder, especially, then yes, there's plenty of room in here to throw in whatever you want to throw at it. As I say, just make sure you build it high so the airflow can get under those coils, so it's like a cyclone effect. But yeah, that's it. The build quality overall, apart from the milling of the post holes, is fantastic. It's nice, it's clean. When I got it out of the packaging, I barely had to clean it. I wiped a paper towel through it and there was nothing on it. So they've done a really good job. Now, I hadn't heard of Shado Vapor until this came along, but I was definitely keeping an eye on them because they've nailed it. They've nailed it. But like I said, you can get this from vaporize.co.nz. There'll be a link in the description below, as always, along with where you get the simple mod from and everything else. All right, that's all I've got for you guys. Again, thank you very much for watching. I always appreciate it, and I'll catch you later. Shado!